Hey friends, my name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti, and I'm back. The National Lampoons Tri-State Tour was amazing. And I'll give you guys a recap in a little bit. Maybe we'll even look through some images, some pictures, some stills, some proof that I went to New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania. Tonight. Hey, you were just watching 2S 75mm Walksnail footage. It flies pretty good. I got to get the throttle expo set properly. Whoa, this frame. That was like an hour ago. So this is the Mobula 7 V3 frame, which is apparently indestructible. I doubt it. Look at this, where my middle finger is. This is after 3 batteries. That is not going to be indestructible, bending like that. So, yeah, the frame durability testing has already begun. In terms of power and runtime, though, it's great. 3 minutes on the little 300 mAh 2S batteries. 4 minutes on the Fat Boy 450 mAh batteries. In order to run these batteries in this frame with this 90-degree plug, you do have to modify the battery a little bit, which I'll show you a little later. But yeah, the testing has begun. And so far, so good. I flew the 1S Walksnail 75. I put a battery through this, and then I put 2 of the lightweight batteries and then 1 of the fat batteries through this. And so, yeah, we can talk about that a little bit later. It's a giveaway stream as well. We're doing 4 giveaways. Now is the time to join my Patreon over at CiottiFPV.com because 3 of the giveaways tonight are for patrons. This is how I can keep doing this full time. This is also how I can have your guys' addresses, because it's super annoying for somebody to win a giveaway and then their name on YouTube doesn't tell me anything, and I can never get in touch with them, and their bag of giveaway stuff sits here for 6 months, and then I feel terrible putting it back in the fray. But that's what happens before I started doing the majority of the giveaways through Patreon. CiottiFPV.com is going to bring you over here, and these are all the different ways that you can support me. Here's the streaming schedule with a link to the YouTube channel here. Patreon, as it says, helps me the most, and you get the most benefits. If you join the $5 tier within the next hour, you'll be entered to win Cinewhoop and toothpick stuff. If you join the $10 tier, you'll be entered to win 3-inch micro brushless and Cinewhoop parts. $20 a month tier is for 5-inch parts. If you have an extra $1 a day, there's a $30 a month tier that enters you to win everything, and or if you fly everything and are addicted to gambling. So yeah, whole bunch of different ways to support the insanity and maybe win yourself something. There is a $3 a month tier, which is 10 cents a day. That is sort of like general admission. You don't get entered in any giveaways, but you get all the other benefits of being a patron. You're going to get access to the Patreon channel itself, which has a ton of tech articles that I've written or pulled from other people. You're going to get a link to a YouTube playlist with like sketchy flying, Patreon only live streams, all kinds of fun stuff. You're going to get full access to the Discord with all the beautiful people that hang out and chat over here all the time. And I'm sure I'm missing something or other. There's an Etsy store with some fun stuff you can buy, some stickers, some random hardware that'll help you on your next build. You can work one-on-one with me through Fiverr. I can help you fly better, tune better, or build better, or all three. You don't have to go through Fiverr. You can just message me and we can set it up, whatever. Teespring has some really fun shirts, not like the one that I'm wearing. And then if you want to do a super chat but you don't want YouTube to take 30%, you can just use this PayPal button here. And then I have a whole bunch of affiliate links. Friends, those of us that create content here on YouTube, we need your help. We need you to use affiliate links. They don't cost you anything. You can change your bookmarks to the affiliate link. You can change your URL bar suggestions to affiliate links. There's no reason not to use them. If you don't use an affiliate link, you are damaging a content creator that you claim to love. Someday I'll be able to say that with a straight face. Yeah, try to use affiliate links anytime you check out. Pretty much every website has an affiliate program, and we sign up for as many as we can. And then all you have to do is use the affiliate link, which, again, you can replace your bookmarks with, you can replace your URL bar suggestions with, and then you don't even have to think about it. I have affiliate links for WeLead, GetFPV, Newbie Drone, FPV Cycle, Amazon, yes, Amazon, Race Day Quads, Oh My God, Brain 3D, HD0, Flywoo, Emacs, Banggood, Camera Butter, and AliExpress. So yeah, when you click the affiliate link, it puts the content creator's code into your shopping cart, and then when you check out, the entire shopping cart is what gets we get a tiny little percent of, between 1% and 6%. And then it wipes it out. So you have to use these affiliate links every time. That's why you want to replace your bookmarks or your URL bar suggestions with them, so that you don't have to remember every time you're buying something on the internet to go to X, Y, or Z's website. Yeah, the websites that you buy from the most, if you just change your shit, you won't have to think about it, and you won't have to go hunting today. You don't have to remember, like, oh, I want to use Joshua's email. I want to use Joshua's affiliate link for this website, but then Ciotti has one for this other website. Just change your bookmarks, yo. Change your URL bar suggestions, and you don't even have to think about it. You're good to go. Cool? Be good. I don't know what that means or why I said it. That's how you support me. Thank you for all the help. You guys are the best. What else is going on? We're going to fly 6 batteries tonight, maybe. If we do fly 6 batteries, 5 of those are going to be 260 mAh beta FPV lavas. A little bit lighter. We'll put them on the scale, see what they weigh. These are brand new. Eons ago, Cinewhoop made 260 mAh folded cell BT 2.0 batteries, and I tested them. And on the really high KV rigs, 30,000, 32,000, they, it was nice that they were lighter, but they sagged quite a bit. I have hope again, because now we've gotten down below 17 grams, 18, I don't know. We're lighter now than we've ever been, and I've got a couple of rigs that are on lower KV motors, like 0702 28,000s, for example. And there's a chance that those lower KV motors will not sag these batteries out so bad, which would be insane because these are lighter, and that rig, those super lightweight rigs, can become even lighter weight. So yeah, these might be really cool. So if we can get through everything, we will fly these tonight. But no promises. I'm exhausted. The last week was incredibly fun, but it was not like a relaxing vacation. It was a on the go, loads of driving, just kind of grueling vacation. We did a lot, and this is not a bad thing. It's just, there was not a whole lot of rest over the last week, but everybody had a blast, and that's all that matters. Yo. In the chat, FPV Toast was first, Rob Bruce was next, Troy Prelog, J. Deegs, Bergeron, Denzel the Terrible, J. Monk, Kevin James, Curtis Hayes, Zach, Cloudhopper, Notice, Volusia, Max L, Smoke a Dog, Cujo, J-Bo888, Parkour Guy, Northern Tier, CBFPV, Walter Van Den Or, Doubles FPV, Tongue Out FPV, Gray Hat, McMucus, Hockey Round, Scotty Scott, LOL, the Kiddison, Douglas Otwell, Rodney Lorimer, Slow Cow. Who else is here? Denzel the Terrible, I think he got you already. Gray Hat, rather. Walter Timmons is here. Dead Chicken. Striker, Frank Nicholas, CBFPV, Skull 901, Hockey Rounds, Quadum, Curtis Hayes, Kevin the Alien, Demo FPV, Metal Dirt Skin, Double A. What's up, everybody? Thanks for coming. Glad to be back. Very much glad to be back. Butterfly FPV, if you haven't subscribed to him, subscribe to him here on YouTube. He is unwinding Cinewhoop motors to figure out how many winds are on each stator pole, which wiring configuration they run, delta versus, I forget. There's a couple different ways that you can wind the 3 wires. He's also testing, he's micrometering the thickness of the wire, which is really, really, really important, and super eye-opening. So yeah, subscribe to Butterfly FPV, BUTTERFLY FPV. And yeah, we're probably not gonna have time to really dive into it tonight, but maybe Whoop Wednesday this week we'll dive in there and some really cool stuff. He's also starting to hand wind motors, which is why he's doing this. So yeah, this will not be the end of the cool tech that's coming out of him. So yeah, support him. Super cool guy, great pilot, doing some great research and gathering some really, really good data. So yeah, there's that. I left a window open just to remind myself of that. I think that's everything I wanted to kind of hit on. Giveaways, Tri-State Tour recap, 6 batteries, Q&A live stream as they all are. Ask any questions that you've got. Do me a favor and keep the questions at a little bit of a minimum tonight because we have a ton to do. I want to talk about the 2S 75mm build. I want to look at some of the flight footage rather. I do want to get these 6 batteries in on these 260s. We're going to do the giveaways. That always takes forever. and I want to talk about the last week. So yeah, do me a favor and hold your questions for either like Wednesday or Friday. If you have a question that's super important to get answered right now before Wednesday, by all means. But as much as you can, just kind of hold the questions off a little bit, please. Curtis Hayes says, I moved my Mobula 8 stack from one frame to another, and when I plugged in the battery, the lights went out, literally and figuratively. Now the board just gets hot. Can I troubleshoot and fix? Doesn't sound like it. I mean, if when you put power to it, it doesn't fire up, there's not a whole lot that you can troubleshoot. AIOs either work or they don't. It's one of the really frustrating things about them. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that could have happened in Betaflight to make it just not power on. And the fact that it just gets hot is a really bad sign. So the board's probably blown up. What I would do is pull it out of the new frame and make sure and try to power it on. Like, I guess maybe there could be something in the new frame that's pushing on a component. This is not going to be the case, but it's worth it. You might as well try it. So yeah, but there's not a whole lot. Like, what are you going to do? You can't get it. You can't get into Betaflight. You can't do anything. It's just, yeah, AIOs suck, man. Cloudhopper says, I played a lot more with my 2G4 Jungle Gym 75s and found it wasn't timing. I had to set idle speed up to 10% with my 33,000 kV rewinds to get them to start up reliably. So idle speed up to 10%. Yeah, the 75 millimeter props are a lot. They're a lot to put. Sorry, the 1.6 inch props are a lot to push. I'm having to do a lot of that stuff too. Cloudhopper also says, do you run dynamic idle? I'm not running dynamic, just static percent. We're working pretty good. I run dynamic idle when I can, but certain AIOs like the Beta FPV cross style, dynamic idle does not work. If there's any way that I can use it, though, I do use it because it allows the motors to spin farther down when you're zero throttle, which is a good thing. But yeah, so always use dynamic idle if you can, but in some cases you can't. And it's not the end of the world if you can't use it. Jabo888 says, changing battery connector on Mobula 6, but having trouble soldering off. Can you please show me what angle you attach the cables to the AIO? Hope you had a nice break. I use the through holes in the AIO, and when you use the through holes, there is no real angle. I mean, so you're going to go up through the through holes, and then I do kind of angle the wire, but it has nothing to do with soldering. You're going to solder them straight up into the through holes, and then you can kind of bend the wire towards the rear a little bit. But yeah, in terms of soldering, you got to clear out the through holes. I've done this a whole bunch of times on the stream. I've changed battery leads on tons of 2G4s. I don't know how to tell you where to find those streams, but it's going to certainly involve... The easiest way to find anything is going to be to go to my channel and use this little search feature here. This tiny little magnifying glass that they've hidden here. This will allow you to search just on my channel. So if you search for like swapping battery leads, that might find it. This is not, well, no, this is, yeah, you're going to have to dig a little bit. But Apache Smoke Wounded Sniper and Quadbot have done tons of timestamps, and that's going to be how you find it. So yeah, do some searching for like battery leads, swapping battery leads, stuff like that, and eventually you'll find me doing it. There's nothing super magic to it. Use lots of flux. Try to clear the one thing that's important is that you put the board like this so that you can look, you can move your head onto either side. So you can kind of move your head to one side of the board, put your soldering iron on the through hole, and then move your head to the other side, and then feed the wire through. It's all about being able to see what you're doing. Those are the only tips I can really think of off the top of my head to help you out. It's a little bit hard to do, but you'll get it. Stay calm, use lots of flux, And yeah. Douglas Otwell says, maybe a brief description later of the gangly fan for the newcomers might spur interest. Yeah, so the Douglas Otwell has made us these amazing, super sought after gangly fans to keep your Walksnail rigs or any HD rigs really cool on the bench. You can also use it as a solder fan so that you're not breathing literal lead fumes in. And they're just the best. They're gorgeous. They've got an awesome little gangly fan logo on them. And yeah, you can't buy these. You can only win these on the things, on the giveaways every month. You sleeping over there, buddy? Oh my God. What a good dog. Teddy Spaghetti is just asleep on the couch. So yeah, this is the main prize for the Super Chat based giveaway. Every first Monday of the month. And yeah, massive shout out to Douglas Otwell for making these. Very, very cool of them. And yeah, they're just little miniature works of art that are super handy to have, man. And they're barrel plugged, so you can use your goggle batteries from them, and then you have like a wireless little kind of setup that you can move around your desk. You're not like plugged into the wall or anything like that. Just really, really, really good stuff. So yeah, thank you again, as always, Douglas Otwell, for making these. They're just amazing. Grey Hat says, custom build Met 75 with X12 AIO outside in temperature weather on 2S with 19,000 kV. 1002's 90% motor limit. Normal for the AIO to stay in the temp warning range even when absolutely ripping fast. No. You don't want temperature warnings. It means that something is wrong. When AIOs are getting ready to die, that's something that'll happen. But again, something is wrong there, right? Like the AIO is about to die. Grey Hat also says, or does it mean that the PIDs are unhappy? Could totally mean that the PIDs are unhappy. That's an easy fix. Land it, go into the OSD, grab your master multiplier, and move it down a bunch. The quad's going to fly like ass, but you'll at least figure out if it's PID related. So that's an easy thing to troubleshoot. It could be a number of different things. It could be a motor that's starting to fail and it's got some like resistance to it, and then the ESC is having to push really hard on that motor. So spin each motor up individually and listen and hear if you can tell a difference in RPM. Could be a bent motor shaft putting a bunch of vibrations into the system. Again, spin each motor up individually. Yeah, there's a lot of different things that it could be. Go through the troubleshooting flowchart that we always kind of talk about. Check the props, check the motors, check the motor outside in, right? Props, motors, motor screws, frame, AIO mounting. Yeah, check for stuff that's like pushed up against the AIO that's kind of hard mounting it. A lot of different stuff that you can check. Eventually you'll get to the bottom of it, hopefully, unless the AIO is just dying, which is a thing that happens. So yeah, check all the things and hopefully you find it. That is a bit of an annoying problem to troubleshoot, if I'm honest, though. Curtis Hayes says, JB told you to stop pooping and come stream. LOL, I know. CVFPV says, have you seen Red Cat's Welcome to the Family video? If so, what are your thoughts? Yeah, unfortunately I have. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they'll make they'll make an infinite amount of money from it. If you're not familiar, Red Cat made this Welcome to the Family video where they showed off a ton of militarized drone technology, which is just horrible for us. You know, like that's just, yeah, it's terrible for us. But companies are here to make money, and you know, in a capitalistic society, or not society, but in a capitalistic country, it's make as much money as you possibly can right now, regardless of any possible repercussions, you know, that benefits people left, right, and center. So yeah, Hey, that's just business. That's just good business. Killing people is good business, friends. Yeah, it's gross, and but I don't know what to say. You know, it's super shitty. It's not Rotor Riot doing it, right? It's Red Cat doing it. So I mean, they're completely separate. I don't know. It has nothing to do with Rotor Riot though. Don't let Rotor Riot's previous affiliation with Red Cat blur the lines here. Like, this is not them. I think there were a couple of builds in there that looked awful similar to Rotor Riot builds, which is a little weird, but like, I don't know, man. I don't know. The whole thing is awful. Frank Nicholas says, welcome back. Thank you, dude. Grey Hat says, also, I am in changing everything pain again. Grip, stick length, rates, possibly radios. I'm always so close. Yeah, it happens. You'll get there. There's a period in FPV where you test a lot of stuff to try to find your perfect setup. And that time kind of sucks in a way. But it's important, and it's just, there's a bunch of shit in FPV that you have to do that is not super fun. But if you want to go from good to great, you have to do it. And so, yeah, welcome to the game. It's tough, but it happens with all things. You know, it happened for me with airsoft, and then photography, and then motorsports. There's for stubborn people, for folks that are in the lovely mental illness, I should say, community, basically for neurodivergence, there's getting obsessed with something and really going down the rabbit hole with it and discovering what I consider to be the art of a thing. Yeah, there's a price you pay, and that price that you pay is like time. You got to pour a whole bunch of time into a thing to get really, really, really good at it. And so yeah, that's kind of just a part of the game. And what's nice is once you do that, you find a community of other people that are just as dumb as you. No, just as passionate as you. And yeah, in some communities, those people are great. In some communities, those people are just awful. In FPV, those people are mainly really, really good, though. So you're in good company. Striker says, yo, I missed you for real. Thank you, dude. Double A says, good evening, Aaron. Curtis Hayes says, what do you do when wires aren't long enough? Say from a GPS plug wire to get to the flight controller, solder more wire, add a connector, make a new connector, solder wires, and screw the plug. Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like, if it's an important build, do it right. Remove the whole thing and do one big full run. If it's whatever, if it's like a tiny whoop that you're gonna fly 20 feet away from yourself, no shame in adding a janky ass little bit of extra wire to get the job done. I usually approach it from that standpoint, and also how much time is it going to take to just, if it's one single wire, it's pretty quick to just add a little bit of extra, desolder it, add a little bit of extra wire, and away we go. But if it's a build that's going to be flown around people, or you want to get back, if you're going to be flying it unrecoverable, in my opinion, do it the right way. Desolder the entire thing. Find a set of cables with the right plug that's longer, or just direct solder the whole goddamn thing. Direct soldering the whole goddamn thing, if you're good at soldering, is always going to be the best bet, because it's a hard connection. The plugs have a very short service life. All of these JST plugs have a service life of like less than 50 plug and unplugs. And I know that 50 sounds like a lot until you're having a problem. And as soon as you start to have a problem, you're plugging and unplugging a bunch. and that piles up, and you don't think about that. Like with JST, with just plugs in general, like you don't, like we all know that they have this crazy short plug unplug cycle life cycle, but you don't track it in your head. You just like, yeah, okay, I'll try to not unplug it and plug it all that often. But like I said, when you're troubleshooting something, you're going to plug and unplug it a whole bunch, and you'll rack up that entire life cycle. And when the plugs start to loosen up and let go, like there's really no telling. So you got to be super careful with that, with the plugs. Because again, you're not going to be like, oh, I know, I remember I had to troubleshoot this rig, so it's probably at like 33 cycles, so I got to start to be careful. Like, no, you'll never think about that. And then it'll bite you in the ass at the worst possible point. So, yeah, it depends. It depends. Good question, but it really depends on the rig. It depends on how much time you got. Blah 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 blah. Striker says Beta FPV replaced my motor, is still in shipping almost 3 weeks later, and I'm still pissed. That's a long shipping time. That's a little weird. At least they replaced them though, I guess. Grey Hat says the V4 is indestructible. Could cut the 1S sling off and use a light strap. So in the bag of 2S 75mm Walksnail shit are all of the frames that will work, and the V4 frame is in here. Apparently you can cut the supports that are on like the top of the frame off, and it'll let the big batteries go in there. I have definitely not found the V4 frame to be indestructible. I've broken 2, maybe 3 of them, but nothing is indestructible. So yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm gonna try all of these frames though. There's a Beta FPV 75X in there. There's a 75X V2 in there. Mobula 7 V4, and there's one more frame in there. So we're gonna test all the frames and we'll see which one holds up the best. But so far, I am not impressed at all with this frame. The other problem with this frame is that the motors sit so low that the tips of the props are hitting the supports. And that's just super annoying. So yeah, Mobula 7 V3 frame not blowing me away quite yet. My main problem with it is this huge crease that's developed already with like no hard crashes. But yeah, I don't know. We've got Walksnail on here, and we've got 2S batteries on here, so it's got some weight. Cinewhoops need to be lightweight in order to be durable, and this is not. So yeah, can't say that I'm super surprised that this happened. I'm just surprised that it happened so fast, and without any really hard hits that I can remember from the flying that I did with it today. But we'll see. I don't know. Maybe it just hit perfectly wrong. We'll test all the frames and figure it out. Striker says, I'm selling my Insta360 and my old GoPro Hero 8. I might finally be joining Team 5-inch for my small quad. Going to convert it to a 3-inch since without the cam it'll be about $250. Very cool. Denzel the Chavo says, you were all the way up in New York and you still couldn't come up for a visit. Are you even legally allowed to enter Canada? What does your parole officer say? Yeah, I didn't visit anyone or anything. I mean, my best friend from college, Rick, who lives up there, he came to meet up with us, which was very cool. But yeah, it was there was just too much going on. There was too much going on to be able to like organize visits with a bunch of different people, and there's no way in hell that I could make it up to Canada. J Monk says, I have a question on the Caddx Vista. The goggle tells me the power mode is low, so goggles can't record on the SD card. Double check the wiring, seems correct. Power is 700 milliwatts. Any suggestions? I think that means that, man, it's been so long since I used to know the answer to that question, but it's been forever. I think it means that the VTX is in low power mode. Why does the VTX... I think the VTX stays in low power mode because you don't have the RX and TX hooked up properly. But then you also wouldn't be getting OSD. Somebody in chat will remember what that is, J-Monk. Yeah, somebody in chat tag J Monk and tell him the answer to that question, because I know one of you guys remembers what that is. J space Monk, J space MONK. Somebody tag him and help me out, because it's been so long since I've had to troubleshoot Vistas because they just work, that I don't remember the answer to that. Although I'll bet you. Here you go! Search Google for DJI Vista low power mode and into FPV forum, Reddit, you'll find the answer in here. I saw MSP, yeah, MSP data link. It needs to know when you arm, basically, is going to be my guess as the problem. But yeah, you'll find the answer in here almost for sure. That's a super common thing. It's not just you. Loads of people have had that question. CBFPV says your AliExpress affiliate link does not work. Thank you for letting me know. I gotta fix that. Why am I going there? AliExpress affiliate program. All right, cool. I'm leaving that tab opened as a reminder. What else? Oh, YouTube just did the thing. Scrolling back up. Hockey Rounds with a $2 super chat. He says, welcome home. Thank you so much, brother. Gray Hat says, when I run Tattu 250 mAh on my lighter rigs, they last about 35 seconds, lol. I got a little bit more time out of the 260s, but yeah, the runtime was pretty low. We'll see. I'm really curious to see what the runtime will be on the ultra lightweight rigs. Gray Hat says, of course, my light rigs and your light rigs are not the same. Gray Hat also says, do you know if he's in need of Cinewhoop motor donations? I have not seen him. We're talking about Butterfly now. I have not seen Butterfly tearing apart any Cinewhoop motors, and he did mention in one of his posts that he ran out of money and he wants to disassemble more motors, but he ran out of money. So he would probably love some Cinewhoop motors to tear apart if you have some blown up ones or some extra ones or whatever. So yeah, jump onto his channel, and he's got a you know, you can put like the text posts up. He's got a text post with all of this data in it. Hold on, let's see if we can. Let me just make sure I'm not. Let me make sure you can find those posts. Butterfly FPV. Hey, actually, that's right. He did the he did a video, so you could probably just leave a comment in this part 1 video here, but he's got a text post. How do you? It's in community, isn't it? Yeah. Here it is. So you're gonna scroll down a little bit. So this isn't here. Dropping a link in the chat to this. Yeah. So there's gonna be 7 days ago. Bizarre. What the hell? Here you go. Here it is. 8 days ago. There it is. So yeah, post in this thread. There's a whole bunch of replies. Post in this thread, because, like I said, I don't see any Cinewhoop motors in here. Robo 1002, Zing 1002, Happy Model 1002, RC and Power 1002, VCI 08028, 27,000, Sub 250 803, Happy Model SE 802. The standout in this testing is the old school Happy Model 802 25,000 kV motor. If you look at the thicknesses of most of these, they're all like 0.2 millimeter, 0.22 millimeter, 0.24 millimeter. The old school Happy Model SE 802 25,000 is used, and yes, 25,000 is a little bit lower kV, but look, it's using 0.27 to 0.3 millimeter thick wire. You compare that to a lower kV motor here. I mean, you just compare it to all the other motors and like 0.24, 0.22, 0.24. So this is really thick wire to be using for the windings, and the amount of copper in the stator is really important for good torque. And so, yeah, I am super interested in this. I'm gonna, I gotta find some of these. Hold on. I wonder if anybody is still selling these. This is an old school, here it is. Two-piece bell design motor. I used to have tons of these. Oh shit, CiottiFPV sells them. Hell yeah. So yeah, the 25,000 kV version of this old ass motor, basically, I want these stators. This stator is wound for really good power. It's got a lot of copper in it. So I think this stator might be a really good match for the Jungle Gym Basher. Just pull the bell off and put a bell on here that's got a... so, potential God motor, right? This stator, and then the bell from the RS 0802. This might be the God setup. Because you've got a stator at 25,000 kV, which is a good amount of kV for a 1.6 inch prop. Wouldn't really work on a 1.2 inch prop unless you did like a 3-blade, a really pitchy 3-blade, or maybe even a 4-blade. That might be something that we could play with, but I don't think so. So yeah, this stator with a ton of copper in it, basically, and then this bell, which is super lightweight and has a 1.5 millimeter motor shaft. This is like the lightest weight 1.5 mil motor shaft bell, I believe. So yeah, this could be the new God motor combo, and it'll only cost you $80 for a set of them, because you're gonna have to buy $40 and $40. It's not super hard to pull the C-clips off and swap those out. It's annoying, admittedly, but it's not like difficult per se. It's just a thing that you have to do. So yeah, we're gonna check that out in the future. Shout out to Butterfly FPV for figuring all that out. It's really, really, really cool. Jacob W says, I have a 2.5 BRAD Raxus with SpeedyB 405 mini stack, 1404 Lumineer, 4600 kV motors. Takes about 27% throttle to get it off the ground. Sounds about right. Is there a setting I can change to make it less? Not really. No, I mean, that's about right. Yeah, 30% throttle is where most rigs hover. The only way to make it less... You don't want to make it less, though. You don't want it to hover at a lower throttle than that. That's the right throttle amount for hover, for your hover point. But if for some reason you want it to be different than any other rig that you ever fly, you would need higher kV motors, or less all-up weight, or more pitchy. You need to add power. The more power a rig has, the lower in the throttle range it will hover at. But 30% throttle is the correct hover point. That's where most rigs will hover at. So you're already in a good place. If you change it, then that rig will be drastically different in terms of hover point than everything else you're ever going to build or fly. And that's going to be super annoying. When the hover point is all over the place between one rig and the next and the next and the next, it's really hard to adjust to that. But that's how you would. Zoe101, Dog with a Block, says, what's up? What a YouTube name. I love it. Grey Hat says, that whoop earlier, new AIO, new motors, new frame. It's barely in the range, very bottom, 80 or whatever. If it matters, it's 2 BT 2.0 in series for 2S. Wanted to run at 1S or 2S. This is the rig, I believe, that gets hot. Yeah, check all those things. Those are the things. Could be a bad AIO. Since it's a new AIO, it could very well be a bad AIO right out of the box. But, yeah. Moving the master multiplier way the hell down will eliminate the PIDs being too aggressive from the equation. Parkour guy says, so do you think the U.S. will be getting into drone-based combat if war pops off? Oh, God, yeah. I mean, you know, they've been using wing drones forever, right? Mini quads, you know, 4-motor drones are God. And so, yeah, if they're not already, which I'm pretty sure that they are, yeah, they certainly will more and more. They're very effective. They're very effective. Striker says, out of everything, this has been the best hyper-focused thing to find. Others like it. I started with Beyblade at like 6 years old, then high foot per second competitive Nerf. Nice. Then unresponsive yo-yos, then FPV. Scotty Scott says, to be good at something takes a lot of dedication. I play pro foosball. The rule is you need 10,000 hours of play to get to master status. FPV is exactly the same, 10,000 hours to master status. I think that the number of hours that the real smart people, scientists, right, figured out forever ago is 20,000. I think 20,000 hours is the number they say to achieve mastery at something, which is a lot of hours. But what's really interesting about that is, like, you look at video games and you look at how many hours people put into video games, and like 20,000 hours is not really all that much. I mean, for kids, right? Like for kids that don't have jobs, don't have houses, don't have families, and they can pour, you know, 6, 7, 8 hours a day into a video game. They can get to 20,000 hours in, Christ, probably a year, right? I'm actually super curious now. So if you did like 8 hours a day times, let's just say 350 days, is that right? That's only 2,800 hours? Is that right? 8 hours a day times 350 days a year, 2,800. Wow, so to get to 20,000, it is going to take a whole bunch of years. Wow. Okay. But yeah, I mean, that's like a mastery status, right? Like you put 10,000 hours into something, you're going to be really good. Christ, you put 1,000 hours into something, you're going to be really good. But yeah, it's funny, man. Like as I get older, and I dive headfirst into more and more stuff, there's just more and more of this realization that like life is just time. Like it's just how much time are you willing to / can you put into something, and then yeah, that's like how good are you at something? How much time have you put into it? The end. You know, this like natural talent thing. I actually don't really believe in like natural talent. In my opinion, from the day that you're born, you start putting hours into stuff. And so from 1 year old to 4 years old, if for some strange reason you put a ton of time into like, I don't know, man, like sliding your feet sideways in some weird way, when you're 10 years old and you start playing basketball, all of that time that you put into sliding your feet sideways in some weird way is going to magically help you. I really do think that it's all time based. I kind of an unpopular opinion, but yeah, I don't really think that there is like natural talent. I think that through the course of your life, if by some weird coincidence you put time, a bunch of time, into a bunch of stuff that is used in another activity, then you're going to be really good at it a little bit quicker than most people. You know, certain parts of FPV, I feel like I've had that benefit, right? Like I went to school for TV radio. So I learned to edit videos 20 years ago. I spent like 10 plus years doing still photography, learning to light, learning how to frame stuff, right? That's super helpful. I did motorsport for 8 or 9 or 10 years, where I learned how to deal with shit coming at me, and like I figured out how to like run my brain faster and look farther ahead to spot, you know, in motorsports it was spotting the corners. Now in FPV it's spotting gaps usually, right? I worked in a social media search engine optimization company that also did social media optimization. So I learned a lot about how to build an online presence, right? So like for me, there's a bunch of stuff that I've pounded a bunch of time into previously in life that all kind of came together, and has allowed me to be pretty successful in FPV. For some people, they have not had that, and they have to start from scratch, and for them, it takes an awful lot longer. And so, yeah, I don't know. That's just sort of my opinion. Let me get back on track here with the chat. Striker says, now, of course, I'm in love with FPV. Don't ever think it'll fade. Hold on to that hope. Hold on to that thought. Although now I'm hyper-focused on roller coasters, calling myself a roller coaster enthusiast. That's the ADHD life for you, yeah. I actually hate roller coasters, but I forced myself to go on the big-ass wooden roller coaster in Wildwood with Azalea and Maggie, and it sucked. I do not like anything more than like a half a G of gravity. Like any less than a half a G of gravity, and I'm just not having fun. And so roller coasters all have drops to generate the momentum, and the drops just ruin the whole thing for me. But I did it, and I didn't get hurt. I didn't get as hurt as Maggie did. Maggie hurt her neck a little bit, which I felt terrible about. But we getting old, man. We getting old. SOS Death Valley says, I bought the BB-802s. What's a good frame and flight controller for it for Walksnail 1S? I need to know a lot more to dive into that, SOS. But here on the channel, I have gone all the way down the rabbit hole with, I mean, the main thing that I need to know is 65 or 75. But luckily, there are tons of live streams with me going all the way down the rabbit hole on 1S, 65, and 75 Walksnail builds, testing all the motors, testing all the frames, all the batteries, all the canopies, everything. So yeah, just scroll back through the live streams. There's timestamps for all of them. You can even use the little search feature, the little magnifying glass on anybody's channel to search through all the timestamps, and yeah, it's all there. Andrew Taylor says, what do you use to receive the analog signal that feeds into your computer? Thanks. It's a little $20 thing. This one I took apart, but it's on Amazon. Just type in like FPV VTX USB. I'm going to type it into the chat. Search Amazon for FPV VTX. VTX is not the right thing to search for, but it works. And you'll find it. I just typed into the chat what you need to search for, but just as an example, FPV VTX USB. And there it is. That's what you want. $32. It's going up in price. That's all it is. Super simple. I wasn't sharing my screen. God damn it. There it is. That's what you want. $32.99. Search for FPV VTX USB. It's actually a VRX. It's a video receiver, but they call it VTX because China. Walter says, which battery would you buy for a Mobula 6 2024 at a limb with your affligibly? I have no idea what the end of that is, but Mobula 6 2024 at the moment, the only battery to buy for any Cinewhoops are the folded cell 300 mAh. Everybody makes them, so you can get them pretty much anywhere. But yeah, folded cell BT 2.0 300 mAh batteries, no brainer for any Cinewhoops. Grey Hat says, any 65mm motor-to-motor Cinewhoops. Grey Hat says, I almost certainly have several of those old school Happy Model 25,000s. If I do, want me to donate them to you, and you can get some RS-082 to Bell Swap. Hang on to them, Grey Hat, because if we figure out a new God motor, you'll want them. And I want fresh ones. I want like brand new ones. I think I have a bunch of extras floating around in my regular 802, but I want to get some absolutely brand new ones. And yeah, I appreciate it though. That's cool of you to donate, but hold on to them because I have a feeling that there might be a new there might be a new Jungle Gym Basher God motor. Cloudhopper says regarding the RS-0802 1.5 millimeter shaft 20,000 kV motors, it has 32 gauge wire, 0.2 millimeters with one 8-wind shoe. Cloudhopper has. Oh, right, because you're pulling the bells off. Yeah, of course you've unwound them. 0.2 millimeter with one 8-wind shoe, two 9-wind shoes per each phase. I'm using 30 gauge, 0.25 when I wind for 33,000 kV. Ah, very cool, Cloudhopper. So let's compare. Let's compare. We're going to compare to the Happy Model SE802 25,000. So RS0802 is a 20,000 kV motor. So it's a lower kV than this, which should mean thinner wire. And it does indeed. 0.2 millimeter 32 gauge wire versus 0.27. An interesting thing that we can kind of compare is to look at some of these other 802 similar kV motors, and that looks about right. Happy Model EX802 22,000 is 0.24, and then Happy Model RS802 20,000 is 0.22 to 0.24. So that looks about right. And then so it's 989 on the winds. And then so we've got, here's a 20,000 kV motor and here's a 998. So that looks about right. But then what Cloudhopper is doing is really cool. Is he's using thicker well, he's winding for a really high kV, 33,000 kV. And so as the kV goes up, you do less winds, and you should use thicker wire so that you maintain the same amount of copper in the stator. And so that's what Cloudhopper is doing. He's going from 0.2 millimeter wire all the way up to 0.25. What's really interesting, though, is how the hell did Happy Model use even thicker wire than what Cloudhopper is using for 33,000 kV on a 25,000 kV motor. That's what's really like insane about these old school Happy Model SE0802s, is how the hell are they using wire that's this thick with this low of a kV? If this was 30,000 or 33,000 kV, it would make sense. But this is a low enough kV. Again, lower kV has more winds, more turns. Wait a second. No, it doesn't. I'm backwards on this. I'm sorry. I'm backwards on this. The lower kV is less turns. Son of a bitch. I thought higher kV was more turns. But it very obviously isn't. Because, well, hold on. I'm going up here to 803. When the stator size changes, the number of turns that they can put on there changes. We need to compare the same stator size. So here, this is a bunch of 802s. 25,000 is the highest kV. No, okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah. 25,000 kV, 7 turns. 22,000 kV, 8 turns. More turns for lower kV. Yeah. More turns for lower kV. So yeah, the lower this is what's super weird. This has 7 turns. Wait, what? Hold on. More turns for lower kV. So they have to run thinner wire. I give up. We got too much to go over. We'll dive deeper into this on Wednesday, and I'll straighten my brain out. My brain is not braining at the moment. Striker says 5-minute batteries times 12 equals 1 hour. 12 times 20,000, 240,000 packs to master FPV. Good God. Walter says you're a reincarnated brother. They study when they read skills. They move on. Grey Hat says, wait, is 19,000 kV at 90% way too high for 2S 75mm? Probably not. I mean, go lower, for sure. Go lower and you tell me. everybody's different, right? Everybody wants a different amount of power. So yeah, definitely go lower and just make sure. On this, it's on 22,000 kV motors basically, and I have it limited to 70%. I want to say on 2S to give you some idea. So yeah, definitely bring it down to like 70% and just try it. And if it has enough power, you're good to go. Mudderton says, I learned to have zero desire to put in the grind to master things in that way. I get too many things I want to do and not enough life left to waste it doing just one thing over and over and over. Yeah, you know, that is one of the things in my experience that separates neurodivergents from neurotypicals. Neurotypicals tend to be much better at doing more things for less amount of time, whereas neurodivergents have a tendency to just latch on to something and not let it go for years and years and years and years. There's no right or wrong answer. I mean, you know, I think it's very easy to fall into the grass is greener kind of situation and be like, man, I wish I could be like those other people and experience. For me, I wish I could experience more things and for, you know, a less amount of time. But I've tried that, and I don't get as much enjoyment out of it as I do just doing the same thing over and over and over again to get at the deeper levels and yeah. But it's you know, there's no manual for life. Ant BVTHC is in the house. He says just exhale when going down the hills and you won't get that feeling in your belly. Is that true? The hell? Striker says I live for that shit. Nothing like lots of things. I don't know what they mean. Curtis Hayes says I speak at Walter. I think he was asking for your AliExpress referral link, so when he orders batteries, he supports you. Ah, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna fix my AliExpress referral link. I left the tab open. Greenhorn FPV says whoever wanted the USB VTX, tell them to do the payment plan on the Hawkeye FPV 4-channel, 4 eyes, 4-channel VTX system. What the hell's that? I'm curious now. All right, we're going to do giveaways in a minute, I promise. I'm almost caught up on chat. I can feel it. I searched for the Hawkeyes thing, and I'm not finding it. Hawkeye. Let me just search for Hawkeye VTX. Will that find anything? I don't know what the Hawkeye thing is. From context, it sounds like it's something super expensive, though. Curtis Hayes says I'm above 50% to go to Castle Crash. Curtis Hayes says Cloudhopper fact check, higher turns equals more or less KV. Yeah, Cloud, you'll know. Fewer turns for higher KV. I thought so. Okay, good. Metaderson says, I hope you're not suggesting I am neurotypical. Sorry to disappoint. No. There are obviously always exceptions to the rule. But that's just a thing that I've noticed over the years. I commonly find myself wishing that I could do more different things and spend less time on them. But that just doesn't work. And, you know, sometimes it's pointless to fight yourself. Striker says roller coaster enthusiast, Yo-Yo Ward chiming in, competitive nerfer, and MCK all at the same time. Just Mo says, do you use DaVinci Resolve? I do not. I use Adobe Premiere. I need the whole Adobe suite because I used Photoshop, Lightroom, and Premiere, and so yeah. If I moved over to DaVinci Resolve, I would be getting less out of the monthly subscription price, right? So yeah, and the Adobe products work totally fine. Grey Hat says, do we have a little while for the giveaways? Was going to get some food quick. Nope, we're doing them right now. Because I'm finally caught up on chat. Right, here we go. So I need this window here. And hold on, let me just refresh these tabs real quick. And All right, cool. That's all good to go. And one of the really cool things that we do to celebrate you beautiful bastards that support me on Patreon is, while I'm doing a couple quick things to get the giveaways set up, I play a bunch of your videos. The videos that I play are the videos that you guys put into the Patreon-only text channel called The Video Collective over on the Discord. And I just very lazily grab the last three. The first one is going to be Bob Bruce, West Coast Throwdown Night Whooping. And I do not play any of your guys' music because I prefer not to deal with all the copyright bullshit. Second one we're going to watch is going to be Crom. Looks like practicing in the simulator. Very cool. I'm going to pause that. And then the third one we're going to watch is going to be... I don't pick the same person twice. Crom has one testing his new build. I'm gonna play this one of him flying for real, because the simulator is easy to do gnarly shit in, because there's no fear of death or losing your shit. So yeah, we're gonna play real flying, because that's what separates the men from the boys. Ah! Third one we're gonna play is Crash and Burn FPV, which we'll edit called What the FPV. Let me just get these a little bit more queued up here. Looks like that one's good. Looks like this one's good. All right, cool. So I'm going to put these on, and we're going to poop our pants. Hold on. I got to find some copyright-free music to put up while I'm doing this. What am I doing? We want music, and no. I need to go here, and I need to go here. There we go. All right. Let me find something not terrible. Hold on. Nope. Man, I forgot to I wanted to tag one of these. Yeah, this will work. And let's tag that one red, and I gotta hit this button here, this button here, this button here, and I'll be right back, friends. I gotta get all this shit set up. Give me a minute. Enjoy these beautiful bastards in the chat and on Discords flying. Here comes the link to the first one. Go subscribe to these people, or else. Bob Bruce only has 37 subscribers. I need to say 47 at least by the time I get back, or there's no giveaways. You will subscribe to all of these people that hang out in the chat, or I will stab you all. I won't stab any of you. Here you go. All right, I'm almost done. Hold on. That song ends pretty abruptly. The fuck? All right, hold on. And paste, and paste, and paste. All right, we're good to go. Submit, submit, submit. All right, friends, we're good to go. Subscribe to those people's channels, or else. Don't make me come get all stabby. You won't like me when I'm stabby or angry. Let me fix the audio again. There we go. All right, cool. So here's what you're playing for. First 3 giveaways are for patrons on the $5, $10, and $20 a month tiers. Those are the words. First up is the $5 a month Cinewhoop and toothpick tier. We've got a crown frame in this giveaway, brought to you by the super generous folks over at WeBleedFPV. Crown frame, and I want to say clear. Yep, clear crown frame. And then we've got, courtesy of GemFan. These are I'm a sponsored GemFan pilot, and for the last I don't know, year, when they ask me what I want for my sponsor props, I get stuff for the giveaways. And so, like, my sponsor payment, basically I put right into the giveaways, which is perfect. This is one set of every single, 1.5 sets of every single Cinewhoop prop. The 1.2 inch, 35 millimeter, 1.6 inch, 45 millimeter, bi-blades, tri-blades, quad blades. They're all in here. I had to do this. This took me a long time. You better appreciate this. This took me forever to bag a ton of these up. Because, there's no way for them to do that. Crown frame, one of every prop, and a brand new set of 40 fucking thousand kV 0702 motors from WeBleedFPV. Absolutely ridiculous. Motor limit these down for sure. Arguably the best 0702s there are, because they're such a high kV that you can motor limit them down to whatever amount of power that you want, and then no matter what, you can crank that power up, because at full power, these are just ridiculous, and they're almost completely uncontrollable, but very, very, very fun. So that is the $5 a month Cinewhoop and toothpick giveaway. Let's see. Oh, God. I cannot believe I just did that. Hold on. Hold on. I have to redo this. I clicked the wrong button, and now I have to go in here and click this, and then click over here, and then click over here, and then pull this down here, and then click here, and paste there. There we go. Submit. All right. All's right with the world. I will click the correct button this time, which is that one. Here we go, my friends. Let's see who's going to win Cinewhoop stuff. The goat has screamed. The propellers whirl. Tickets get blown away. Keith Drones is hanging on the bottom left there. Dion is super. He just got blown away. Bo Weber on the bottom in the middle. Patrick Scott bottom right. Hanging. He's gone too. 1-3. You have won. You don't have to do anything. The reason why I do these giveaways through Patreon is that I force you guys to put your address when you join Patreon so that I can actually ship you your stuff, because it's tough to catch every single giveaway live stream. So yeah, 1-3's info is in Patreon, and I can just grab his address and ship him his winnings. What do you think of that, friends? Next up, we've got the 3-inch micro brushless and Cinewhoop giveaway. What's up, Brandon? How are you, homie? We have got a XT30 with an itty-bitty hysterical little, what's that called? Capacitor on it. Brutal. My brain, I told you my brain is not braining. XT30 with an itty-bitty little capacitor. Make sure that it's a, what is it, 16 volt? So 4S only, and 4S is actually going to be pushing this. So maybe like 3S only on this little guy. You probably get away with 4S though. And a newbie drone / Cricket flight controller. This is like an $80 flight controller, I think, with all the good stuff. That's your 3-inch giveaway and a nice little Micro King bag. Let's see who's going to win it. Yeah! We've got Stephen Pratt top towards the right a little bit. He's hanging in. Curtis Hayes top left. It's gone. Rodney is on the bottom of the middle. He's hanging in. Andre Bassett bottom right. He's still there. He's gone now. Propelling FPV top right. He's hanging in next to John Godwin. It's going to be Jake Wilkening. Congratulations, brother. Why did I put the marker back? You've won, my friend. Jake Will Ken Ing. Spell that right? I did indeed. Congrats, Jake. You've won some stuff. Next up, we've got the 5-inch giveaway, and I need to cross out Patrick's name on here from a previous giveaway that he won to not confuse myself. 5-inch giveaway, we've got, in my opinion, some of the most underrated high-pitch propellers of all time. These are Gemfan Wind Dancer, what are they, 5149s, I think? Yeah, 5149s. Most high-pitched propellers are very heavy. These are not. I don't know if Gemfan even makes these anymore, but if they do, yeah, Gemfan Wind Dancer 5149. Lots of pitch. 49 is a ton of pitch, so they're very fast propellers. But then, like I said, they're not super heavy like most of the high-pitched propellers. These are great. And when I want a rig to go fast, these are my go-to propellers. They have been for years. Super, super, super underrated. And there's like 4 sets of them, I think, in here. And then another 4 sets of... the hell are these? I think these are 5143s, but I want to make sure. Yep, 5143 threes. These are, in my opinion, the best freestyle props ever made. They're not the most pitchy, they're not the least pitchy, they're not the lightest weight, but they're the perfect mix of efficiency, power, durability. The durability is the real thing that sets these apart. And when it comes to freestyle, you're going to crash. And so durability is really, really, really nice to have. I think that a lot of these new freestyle props are really moving away from durability, and I just don't quite get it. Like, needing to replace props after every couple of crashes is kind of dumb. So hopefully they figure that out and start making some more durable propellers, because the current crop of freestyle propellers, yeah, they've lost that focus on you know, being able to just bend the props back straight and or being able to take off after a hard hit. We've got a set of these neon green Dayglow Pulse battery straps, and we've got these very, very cool motor mount pads on the bottom with LEDs on them. So you'll have LEDs shooting down the bottom of the rig, so that like when you fly away from yourself, the LEDs are shooting at you. It just looks very cool. We keep putting LEDs on the top of the quads, and then they shoot up into the sky. We need more LEDs on the bottom, because when we fly, we go up above our heads. And yeah, I don't know who makes these, but these are very, very cool. Just make sure that you isolate these. You'll see what I mean, whoever wins them. And then we've got an awesome little Toolkit RC M8S, 400 watt, 18 amp, 1 to 8S charger. That is your 5-inch giveaway for this month. And let's see who's gonna get it. Here we go. He's getting tired, this goat. John Godwin's hanging in on the left there. Not applicable, just got blown away on the top left. Kevin Sumner on the top next to Bob Noxious. They're both gone. Hypnos just got blown away too. Rick Kennedy, you have won, my friend. Congratulations. I'm gonna ship you your stuff. And then you will have a slightly better life. Because really, that's what we're doing here, you know? We're just helping people have better days in their lives. The last giveaway is the Super Chat and PayPal-based giveaway. The only way to get in on these giveaways without joining my Patreon. You should join the Patreon now. It helps me a ton. Helps you a ton. It's really good stuff. You're going to love it. The way this works is it's $5 a ticket. You can get as many tickets or as few tickets as you'd like. You can do a super chat, or you can go over to CiottiFPV.com. There's a PayPal button. Yeah, $5 a ticket. Here's what you're playing for. The Gangly fan, as always. This is like the big item in all of these super chat based giveaways that is super sought after and just lovely. And thank you, as always, Douglas Otwell. But we've got some other fun stuff. We've got the V2 electronic goop, the thermally resistive putty from Mass Adhesive. No, I didn't mean to put this in here. We've got a very cool big old travel / flight bag spool of solder from Wrecked FPV, which I really want to keep this, but I have a not quite as cool as this, but smaller than this travel spool of solder in my bag, so that's fine. We've got one of these lovely Rotor Riot neck straps. These neck straps are made by the same folks that Newbie Drone had make their neck straps, and it's just like the most, I don't know, man, it's just nice. It's just really nice material. It's like really soft. It's really strong and thick, and like, yeah, it's just, this is like the most bougie neck strap ever. It's got this big, ridiculous, like, pick up a car buckle on the damn thing, and it's their new colors, which are the gray and purple. This is a really cool, these are called Fastex buckles, and this is really cool. I don't think I've ever seen one in purple. So yeah, super, super fancy, really nice little lanyard for you. If you are a size large or extra large, there will be a t-shirt. You're going to have to let me know that, though. Thrown in here as well. And then, I thought there was something else. Nope, that's it. That's what you're playing for. Gangly fan, thermally resistive putty, awesome lanyard, Wrecked travel solder spool. Away we go, my friends. And a t-shirt if you're a large or extra large or 2X. I'm sorry, not large. You have to be an XL or a 2X, and then you'll get a t-shirt. If you're not, you won't. Sucks to be you! No, it doesn't. It's awesome to be you. Here we go. Let's start filling this up here. Cloudhopper with a $2 super chat. He says he wants a ticket. $3 more and I'll give you one, Cloudhopper. 10-second runtime with a $10 super chat. He's going on here twice. Thank you for the support, homie. Thank you for the support, Cloudhopper. 10-second runtime, you're on here. You guys have to check me before I wreck me. Cloudhopper with a $5 super chat. He says, I want a ticket and I paid the right amount this time. Cloudhopper, $3 more and you can have 2 tickets. Hold on, let me add some spaces. Yeah, check me, guys. I have a weird tendency when somebody pays for 2 tickets to only put them on 1. So call me on it if I accidentally do that. Rodney Larimer with a $5 super chat. He says, let's go. Rodney, you're going on here. Oh, there we go. Danzel the Terrible with 15 Canadian Californian dollars. He says, 2 tickets to Paradise, please. I don't know about Paradise, but you know, having a gangly fan, that is paradise. Let's be honest. Notice with a $5 super chat. He says, I'm in. Thanks, fellas. I appreciate all of you. Notice you are now the proud owner of a digital ticket. Timmons with a $10 super chat. He says, 1 for me, 1 for Striker. Sounds like a plan. Timmons, I got 1 for you. And then I've got 1 for Striker. All right, let me kick open my email here. Ooh, this is going to be scary. I've been gone for a week. Oh! I already used that coupon, so don't even bother. I think. I hope. Pretty sure I already used that coupon. Kevin Fondren, Kevin the Alien with a $20 USB. Nope, that's not it. PayPal. He's getting 4 tickets. Where'd that other window go? Bueller? Did I close that entire window? I think I might have. Or did I just minimize it? The hell happened? Oh, nope, it was full screen. Got it. Got it, it's fine. Everything's fine. Nothing is fucked here. They're a bunch of fucking amateurs. Hold on. Hold on. Everything got moved. Everything is all over the place. Hold up. I have a catastrophe of windows over on my second monitor. All right. That's way better. Get out of numbers. And where the hell did my email go? There it is. Got it. It's fine. Everything's fine. Kevin the Alien. You've got 4 tickets to the Lack of Guns show. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. Hold on. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Websites work better. Got it. Kevin, you are good to go. Thank you so much for the support, everybody. We've got Frank Nicholas with a $25 super chat. He's gone on here 4 times. Frank is one of the OG folks around here. And he has not won a Gangly fan tonight yet. Is tonight the night? It could be. It could be. Thank you for the support, as always, Frank. And David Ciotti with a $20 super PayPal. He says 2 tickets for each of the time stampers. That means Apache Smoke and Quad Bod. So we got 1, and then we got Quad Bod. Thank you, Dad. That's my dad, by the way, David Ciotti. He's got the same last name as me. That's how things work. How kind and generous is he? FPV Toast, thank you for joining the Gangly Gang, my friend. You were in on the Tiny Whoop and Toothpick giveaway tonight. Unfortunately, you didn't win. Maybe next month. But again, welcome to the Gangly Gang. Thank you so much for the support, my friend. Also, Andy X, welcome to the Gangly Gang. You were in there as well. I actually remember seeing your name. Maybe next month you'll win, brother. Thank you for the support. And then LOL the Kittison. LOL the Kittison. There we go. Thank you for joining the Gangliest of Gangs. Welcome to the family, my friend. Your support means a lot. I appreciate it, guys. Kevin Sumner with a holy hell $50 PayPal. He says add 2 more tickets for each of the first 5 folks to send super chats. Early bird gets the big fat juicy worm. All right, we're doubling it up. Here we go. So that means 10-second runtime gets 2 more. Hold on, let me make sure I do this right. So, yep, 10-second runtime was the first. Cloud Hopper was the second. So he's going to get another one. And then it was Rodney. He going to get another one. And then, so 1, 2, 3, 2 more people. Danzilla, he's going to get doubled. And then Notice is also going to get doubled up. Very cool. I expect all 5 of you to send a personal thank you, a handwritten thank you letter to Kevin Sumner, especially if you win. Even if you don't win, though. Kevin, thank you so much, brother. Kevin's another one of the ultra OGs. Kevin also is very generous with his time on top of everything else. Just an incredible member of the FPV community and our little community here as well. If you want to meet the man in person, go to Castle Crash this year. He's on their board and is doing a ton of work for them. And yeah, he helps out a ton with Rampage and just awesome dude. John Ray with a $15 PayPal. He says, 2 for me, 1 for Bob Bruce for that West Coast Throwdown vid. Hell yeah. All right, so we're going Bob Bruce. And then John Ray is Metal Dirt Skin, for anybody that's not paying attention. John Ray, you got 2. Thank you, brother. Very kind of you as well. All right, back to Super Chats. Where did I leave off with Super Chats? Rodney, Danzilla, Notice, Timmons, and then... All right, so we are at Cloudhopper. Cloudhopper with $3. He says, you got me, $3 more. Cloudhopper is going on here again. There he is. Bob Bruce with a $5 Super Chat. He's going to get 2 entries now. Thank you, homie. And then we've got Ian Sadek with a $4.99 Super Chat. He says, okay, I'll play. Thank you, brother. Here we go. All right. Danzilla Terrible with 5... Where'd it go? There it is. Denzel with 5 Canadian Californian dollars. He says, 1 for Zoe 101 Dog with a blog. Awesome. Zoe, you are on here. Bergeron with a $5 super chat. He getting a ticket. There you go. Verbalance. That's a cool combination of words. Verb and balance. Verbalance with a £5 super chat thing. He says, I need that glue thing. Verbalance, fair warning. The iCover shipping inside the U.S. Outside of the U.S., the shipping gets really expensive, and you got to split it with me. So, fair warning. That's kind of the deal. I'm assuming since you did £5, you're not inside the U.S. If you are inside the U.S., no sweat. Verbalance says I don't care. Awesome. We're good to go, friends. Let's see who shall win the Gangly fan and a bunch of other really, really, really fun stuff. Monitor zoom, that's looking good. We're on the right scene here. This goat is going to die one of these days, and it's going to make me sad. Quadbod's on the bottom right, hanging in. Ian is off on the right. He's hanging in as well. Bergeron over there as well. Kevin the Alien on the left. It's going to be Kevin the Alien, isn't it? Kevin the Alien, you have won. Congratulations, my friend. Kevin, I'm pretty sure you're on Patreon. I'm pretty sure your address is over there. But if you're not on Patreon, you need to send me a message somewhere. All of my contact info is over on CiottiFPV.com with your address. And, oh, there we go. I can write. With your address and your email address for tracking and all that good stuff. But I'm pretty sure that you're on Patreon. Thanks to everybody that played. If you didn't win this time, I'm sure that you'll win next time. That's how it works, man. That's how gambling works, isn't it? I'm actually going to check real quick, Kevin. Yep, there you are. And if the 97 address is still current, you're good to go, my friend. Thanks, everybody. I'll get these shipped out in a couple of days. Let's see what... Oh, shit! Kevin the Alien checking me. Rodney and Cloudhopper need 1 more each. You only gave them 1 each. I'm sorry, guys. I will do this. Sometimes this happens, and the easy fix is the application actually remembers people. So what I can do is just go Rodney and Cloudhopper, and now next a month from now they will have their extra 2 entries. Thanks for checking me on that, Kevin. Kevin Sumner got that. All right, make sure I didn't miss any tags. Denzel the Trouble says, definitely during CiottiFPV's Discord if you want to see his nudes. Cole Powers says, if the music cuts out abruptly, just start beatboxing. I'm sure we won't be able to notice. Is that you making fun of the copyright-free music? Okay, and then I'm caught up. All right, good to go. All right. Hold on. Let's go to... See if I can get this to work. Hold on. Come on now. Yes, keep me signed in. Come on. Allow. Oh, God. 9, 4. Oh, come on. Yay! Trust this browser. Yes, trust it. Our happy, healthy little family here last Sunday flew up to the Trenton Airport from Atlanta on Frontier. And my parents very kindly picked us up and let us borrow their Ford Exploder, also known as a Ford Explorer, for the entire week. And so we got some food with them, hung out with them for a little bit, which is always amazing, and then got right on the road to Wildwood. This was Sage's graduation present from Maggie, high school graduation, which was a trip up to New York to hang out with his Discord friends that he's been friends with forever and has never gotten to meet because New York is, 800 plus miles away. And so, but we wanted to get a little bit of a Northeast tour because, first of all, Azalea has never flown before. Sage hasn't flown since he was like 2 years old or something, I think. And I don't know if Azalea had never been to the Northeast. Maggie and I both grew up in the Northeast. Azalea had never been. Sage hadn't been since he was like 2 or something, so he basically hasn't been. And so, yeah, we wanted to give them like an actual tour of the Northeast, which turned out to be a tri-state tour. New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Philadelphia. What else is there in Pennsylvania? And so that's what we did, and it was awesome. And I'm just really quickly making sure I don't have anything horrible in here. We're just going to blast through these pictures, and it'll help me kind of talk through the whole trip. First thing we did is blast down to Wildwood, New Jersey, which is kind of like the most famous of the beaches. And we had a hell of a time. We did some rides. We walked up and down the boardwalk, and it was a really good time. This is like their big main thingy. Maggie and I, being geeks, look at that. I got, well, there's probably a picture of it in there. Oh, I got to look these up. Ultra Range. I really like these shoes, but I don't like them in this color. Hold on. Ultra Range Wrap. Ultra Range Wrap. All right, cool. I really like those shoes. This is how I remind myself of things. I didn't think I was going to buy this hat, but I ended up buying this hat. It's a bucket hat. I've been looking for a bucket hat that's not awful forever. There it is! It's all bucket hats are awful, but this one at least has a really big brim, which completely gets my neck in the shade when I'm wearing t-shirts, and it doesn't look that bad. This is the least bad bucket hat that I've ever found. So, whatever. There's Azalea constantly giving middle fingers. This is so there, and there's the roller coaster. There's the old school wooden roller coaster that we rode, Azalea got some OG aviator style glasses, which are super cool. Here's the pier lit all up at night. We did not go on the Ferris wheel, but again, we did some other stuff. We did the tilt-a-whirl, which you'll see in a minute. Funnel cake fried Oreos. We got both of those. There's the tilt-a-whirl, my favorite ride of all time. Just the best. Positive G-force, friends. Positive G-force is the way to go. Fuck negative G-force. Tilt-a-whirl for life. There we are eating at, I forget what place this was. That's a fake nose ring that one of the shops gave to Azalea. Azalea again with middle fingers. There it is. Always. It's for some reason she's at a part of her life that being miserable is the thing to do. We got, I forget what we got here, but it's called Grab a Wiener. So, you got to take a picture of it. There's everybody in front of the Wildwood sign and the beach balls. Sage is also at a phase of his life where being miserable is the cool thing to do. But Sage will smile from time to time. There we go. We got a little bit of a smile out of him. Azalea, you can never get a smile when there's pictures being taken. So we spent 2 days there and then drove all the way up to Manhattan and dropped Sage off at the train station to take one little train over to Staten Island to hang out with his friends. They were picking him up. And then we went to downtown New York and stayed at this awesome little hotel that Maggie found. It's just like a Wyndham, but it wasn't heinously expensive. We were all the way up on the 25th floor, though, and that was the windows opened like this much, just enough for me to put my hand out with the phone to get that. I love New York. When I lived up in New York, when I lived up in New Jersey for the first 33 years of my life, I had the opportunity to go to New York quite a few times, and I always really loved it, and the architecture there, and just like the history, and I don't know, it's just a really magical place, and I can't help but take pictures of cool shit when I'm up there. We did ride the subway. We met up with my old college buddy Rick, and he browbeat us into riding the subway, which was awesome. Lots of pizza. This is a grandma slice, and this is an upside down slice. Just the goddamn best. Atlanta and Georgia do some things really good. Pizza is not one of those things. So yeah, we ate a lot of pizza, and it just brought raging back the realization of how awful the pizza is in the South. But yeah, and then some garlic knots there. There's me eating pizza, the highlight of my entire life. God damn, the pizza is so fucking good up there. New Jersey too. Great pizza. We did a lot of walking. I don't know what that's an image of, but it's all white. We only took like one or two taxis. We just walked a lot. This was in Macy's. This was in Macy's. They had the keyboard on the floor, like FAO Schwartz from the movie Big, and I did a pretty decent job of chopsticks, and then realized that they had a fat person mirror, and I made the comment on my Instagram that eating all the pizza has gotten to me already. There it is. Vacation. You can read some more images of the awesome place that is New York. This is pretty funny. This guy does healthy smoothies. One of his healthy smoothies is called the Diabetes Helper. That's interesting. The really interesting thing is that we had him make us two smoothies, fruit smoothies, and he said what we thought was $13. And Maggie and I were like, oh, cool, that's not too bad. Maggie hands him $13, and he says, no, 30. And we looked at each other and went, no, that's bad. So, yeah, $15 per. We didn't even have him put, like, protein in or anything. It was just blended vegetables. $15 per. Azalea took one hit of hers and said, I don't like this. Here, do you want it? And it was filled with bananas, which I can't eat. And so we ended up putting Malibu in it and drank it later that day. Empire State Building lit up all cool. This was a really cool little dumpling place that we ate at. I also love New York because it's like a photographer's dream. There's so much going on. There's so many lights. There's so many reflective surfaces that you can kind of play with. This is me delving back into photography, doing this, cool shoot through glass, get fun reflections in one part of the image, and then, yeah. I don't know what these are, but yeah, very cool leading vertical lines. We walked past Radio City Music Hall, didn't go in, but always good for images. This was 30 Rock. The New York City massive Pride parade was Sunday. Unfortunately, we left New York on Friday or Saturday, I forget. So we missed it, but they were all decorated up for Pride, which was just amazing to see. Tons of rainbow flags here, and then this really cool thing. Maggie, of course, absolutely loving it. This is the opposite side of 30 Rock from where we were just looking. There is down where we were just looking. This is also where the ice skating rink is. They tear like all this stuff down, and they put the ice skating rink in when, around Christmas time. So this was super, super, super cool. FAO Shorts showing their love. FAO Shorts is much smaller than I remember. I don't know if they moved locations or what, but they were a lot smaller than what I remember. Maybe everything is bigger when you're short, right? Azalea doesn't really get to see many revolving doors, so, you know, got to go around it a couple times. Here's the front of 30 Rock, which, if you watch the show 30 Rock, you'll be very familiar with. I forget which church this is, but they're all absolutely ridiculous. DJI has a storefront in New York, which I totally forgot about. I didn't go in because why bother? But, you know, with the band coming, maybe this won't be here too much longer, which is super sad. Some more leading lines. We went to the Museum of Modern Art, and Azalea had me take her picture in front of everything that she said that she could do herself. This is a very famous piece of artwork that my parents had a puzzle of in the stairwell going into the basement that I walked by about 1 billion times as a kid, and so I had to take a picture of it. Instead of taking a picture of Starry Night, I decided to take a picture of everybody taking a picture of Starry Night. This is about as small as the crowd got. Again, I could paint this. There's Rick Anderson! God, Rick is just my favorite, man. You know, you meet people in life that are just amazing, and yeah, Rick is one of them. Just such a cool dude. He lives in the Upper East Side, so yeah, he came down to. This is Central Park. He came down to visit us. Here's us taking the subway. Here is Blue Man Group. My parents very kindly got us tickets to see Blue Man Group, which Azalea absolutely loved, and Maggie was subtly horrified about. Maggie does not like dirty faces, like dirty kid faces or like dirty mouths. And there's the Blue Man Group, the beginning of their act, they do a bunch of stuff with like throwing marshmallows at each other and like chomping on Captain Crunch cereal and like spitting it out all over the place. And Maggie was like, oh God, it was just, I never thought about it. But yeah, that's like a dirty mouths are like a nightmare thing for Maggie. So that was hysterical for, I've seen Blue Man Group before, but I'd never connected the dots on that. But Azalea had an absolute blast. She thought it was hysterical. And just the fact that Maggie was horrified by it was even that much more hysterical for Azalea, right? They have a pretty strict don't take pictures during the show thing, so I just grabbed these real quick at the beginning. The first 4 or 5 rows, they give you ponchos because they shoot paint everywhere. And so, yeah. This was a place called the Bagel Pub, and they had the most absurd selection of cream cheese that I have ever seen, and it was absolutely unbelievable. Strawberry cream cheese, caramel apple cream cheese, cinnamon roll, Nutella chip, Cookie Monster, which I think is just crumpled up cookies with some blue food dye, and then birthday cake cream cheese. Just outrageous, man. Cucumber dill cream cheese, strawberry, tofu scallion, olive cream cheese, bacon cheddar. We tried the olive. It was super good. We also tried the cinnamon roll cream cheese. It was ridiculous. This is the Portal, which I thought they shut down, but instead of shutting it down, they just have an employee and a cop here. So this is there's a tiny little camera up on top of there, and then there's another one of these in Ireland, and they just display live video back and forth. When they first opened the portals, all of the horrible Americans came to it and flashed their tits and dicks, and then they shut the portal down for a little while because they were like, what the hell, America, you jerks. Because it's just open for like people and children and to hang out at. But yeah, now they have a cop station there and an employee station there, and everybody was behaving. And then they've got a bucket up in the front here with a bunch of signs that you can hold up, or you can hold up your own signs. Super cool. It's very low latency. Like you'll start waving and like there's about like a second of latency. They'll start waving back. It was really impressive. We went to a conveyor belt sushi restaurant, and they typically have these things to bring you your drinks, which are always super fun. There's Azalea being Azalea. Here's Azalea being Azalea on an escalator. Azalea on an escalator. Azalea in the city. These buildings were cool looking, so, you know, take a picture. This is number one taco, apparently like the best taco place in New York. It was pretty good. No complaints. I got a dirty water hot dog, and it was absolutely vile. I've had dirty water hot dogs in the past, and they've been great. This one was horrifying. We also got a soft pretzel, and it was terrible. There was a French place right on the corner around our hotel, and they had this thing. This picture does not show the scale. There you go. There's for scale. This was ridiculous. Azalea very kindly shared it with us, and Maggie had a strawberry, blueberry, raspberry fruit tart because she's not a sugar junkie like Azalea and I. I had a giant chocolate chip cookie. Yeah, that dirty water. Look at this picture, though. Maggie managed to perfectly capture half the hot dog spitting out. That's like in the process of falling down. Timing, friends. It's all about timing. This was a really pretty sunset in downtown New York. Just kind of lighting up the buildings. Really cool. At some point, I have to get artsy fartsy. So this was that. Waiting for a break in the traffic. Look, made in India. New York City sewer. Made in India. Come on, New York. Kevin the Alien has never heard of a dirty water hot dog. It sounds awful. It's just they the street. You've had a dirty water hot dog before. The street carts that boil the hot dogs, we affectionately call them dirty water hot dogs because water must be really dirty. It's not actually dirty water, but it's probably actually dirty. Again, sunset was awesome. Over here at Madison Square Garden, Penn Station, Madison Square Garden showing their LGBT love. Very, very cool looking from the Empire State Building, which you'll see in a minute. Times Square, properly chaotic, as always. Maggie got by one of these. So there's a whole bunch of people in Times Square that dress up as whatever, cartoon characters, Elmo, Hulk, whatever. And I assumed that Maggie knew what the deal was, but I was wrong. They walk around and they like grab you and they're like, "Hey, take a picture with me." And you're like, "Oh, cool." If you don't know, and you take a picture with them, and then they go, "All right, now tip me." And yeah, Maggie got, and so we had to tip them. More pizza, more amazingness. And then we went to the Empire State Building. Maggie did this really cool, like $100 city pass, and you get to do 3 things. So we did the Statue of Liberty Ferry, we did Empire State Building, and Museum of Modern Art. So those were our 3 things. So this was the second thing that we did, which was the Empire State Building. I don't remember ever. I'm sure that I have when I was young. But it's been forever since I've been in the Empire State Building, and it's a hell of a showstopper, man. Definitely do it if you go to New York. It is well worth it. This is a super simple little time lapse that I did using the phone. This was wild, and also do it at night, in my opinion, because the whole city is lit up, and it's just nuts. It's absolutely crazy. This is holding the phone out over the edge, which didn't turn out as good as I thought because they got those uplights, but still fun regardless. Holding your phone out over the edge of 89 stories. Hopefully you don't drop it and kill someone. Yeah, more of downtown. It's crazy. You can see like the peninsula. Like you can see the bottom, the south part of New York. It's really just magic. You can see Central Park. You can see like some of the other smaller parks. This is the top of the building. For like an extra $35 a person, you can go another like 20 stories up. Why? Don't do that. This is waiting to get on the ferry to go see the Statue of Liberty, which is super fun. I did a couple of time lapses. This one didn't come out quite as good as this one. This one I'm pretty happy about, especially also because this really cool yacht with a giant pride flag was in like the perfect spot. So this one's awesome. And I did a much better job keeping the Statue of Liberty centered on this one. There's me looking like a total goober. This was when we went down to Staten Island to pick Sage up and his friends. I found this little park and just went out, and there's the Brooklyn Bridge. This is me. So we went to when we were going down to Philly, we stopped in Cherry Hill. It actually routed us right through Cherry Hill. So we stopped at Izzy's apartment. So Izzy, very weirdly, lives in the exact same apartment complex 2 doors down from where I lived, one of my last apartments that I lived in New Jersey. So we went there, and Izzy just bought a new black BRZ. And we went in there, and there was a black BRZ. So I put a CiottiFPV sticker on it. And then as we were driving away, I start thinking, like, I think Izzy's car has black wheels, and this car did not. And so I texted Izzy. I was like, hey, I just stickered your car, I think. Maybe not. What color are your wheels? And they're like, yeah, they're black wheels. I'm like, fuck, can you pull the sticker off of your neighbor's car? So they did, which is great. But yeah, that was subtly embarrassing. We then went over to Philadelphia and went to Pat's Steaks because Gino's Steaks doesn't cut them up. And I'm not in elementary school anymore. So I'm not going to eat just a big dumb slab of beef as if I was literally in Klockner Elementary School. But luckily, right across the street is Pat's, where you can go to get a cheesesteak with the steak actually cut up. Yeah, everybody actually got a cheesesteak. Maggie and Sage got chicken cheesesteaks, which were awesome. Azalea and I got steak cheesesteaks, and everybody got whiz, and it was great. There it is. There's just terrificness. Stop by Love Park, as you do in Philadelphia. This is one of my favorite images of Maggie, maybe ever. This is just her in one still image. Yeah, just arms open to the world. Yeah, in where she grew up. She grew up a little bit north of Philly, but yeah, that's this is her, my friends, with a trans-colored scarf on and just, you know, looking awesome, wearing the shit out of them mom Tivas. This is a really cool building that I swear to God, if a Philadelphia pilot doesn't go into this center area and dive soon, I'm gonna smack you all. Pennsylvania and Philadelphia pilots, what the hell? This is right next to Love Park. How has no one just gone in here and had a field day? I've never seen anybody fly in here. Maybe somebody has, but for the love of God, Bot, Izzy, the rest of you, get your asses over here and fly this. It looks super, super, super cool. This is where, this is the apartment complex that Maggie grew up in. And so we stopped by there. And yeah, it's so funny. See this little hill here? The same thing. When I was little, super, super, super young, living in Princeton, there was a hill that I rode down on my, three-wheeler, little, with the big wheel in the front. Big wheel, that's what they're called. And I thought that hill was gigantic. Apparently it was not. This is the hill that Maggie used to ride down on her three-wheeler that she thought was absolutely gigantic. And so yeah, she's not been back here to visit this, and so she was like, "Oh my God, that's the hill! I thought it was so big." It was just like such a funny moment. And then we went to Grounds for Sculpture with my parents and a bunch of Maggie's family. Grounds for Sculpture is a really cool art exhibit place. Words. In Trenton, New Jersey, right around the corner from my parents, or Hamilton, New Jersey, right around the corner from my parents, that when I was growing up was pretty like basic and small, and now is like outrageously cool, with like as much like massive amazing artwork as it has plants and just really cool stuff. Yeah, just an amazing spot. Me and my dad, that was my mom a second ago, by the way. There's my mom taking a picture of these awesome looking things. There's Maggie and I believe her aunt, and then yeah, there's a lot of sculptures here. Really, really, really magical place. My mom and dad being amazing. Yeah, they've done the main artist. He's done a lot of these three-dimensional versions of really famous artwork. And it's really cool because you can like put yourself inside of like these famous paintings. This is one of the really cool ones where he's got a bunch of sculptures of painters painting the scenes that they're in. Really, really cool stuff. The most meta shit ever. There was a bunch of massive... I can't remember the name of these little bastards. Koi. That were swimming around. Tons of them. Here's the gang. More cool stuff. More of the gang. The Trenton Airport is so small that you get onto the plane from the little like motorized stairs, and so it gives you opportunity to actually stand next to a big old jet. And then this is the flight home, and that's plant-based protein at Lidl, which is where we went earlier today because the kitchen is completely empty. So there you go. Wow, it's after 12 o'clock already. We're going to just dive straight into the footage from earlier. Here is a 1S 75mm Walksnail Cinewhoop as a point of comparison. This is on the best motors that I was able to find so far, which are the VCI 0602.6 or .8. It's basically an I'm sorry, I said 06. It's an 0802.6, basically an 0803. With, here it is. Let's weigh it too. Well, I'll give you the full spec. Yeah, and yeah, just immediately getting it stuck in a branch, as you do. Meteor 75 airframe, VCI 0803, 27,000? Yeah, 0802.8, 0803, 27,000 kV motors, GemFan 1610 biblades, Walksnail, Beta FPV cross style AIO, Mobula 6 canopy, Walksnail light. BT 2.0, Weebleed FPV folded cell 450 mAh batteries. Dry weight is 30.3 grams. That's what you're watching right now. And I just noticed earlier today that the Mobula 6 canopy has cracked down below the lens, which is kind of annoying, but really not a big deal. And I'm tempted to E6000 it, but I might actually just leave it. I have a ton of these Mobula 6 canopies, though. Eventually I'll swap it out. But yeah, doesn't really affect anything. So yeah, this is the Walksnail 75mm rig that we've been developing for, what, the last like 4 or 5 months? My God. Flies really decent for what it is. The problem is runtime. Even with these 450 mAh 1S batteries, the runtime is like 2 minutes. The other problem is that these motors have a 1mm motor shaft, which is probably not going to be strong enough, but they've actually been holding up pretty good so far. So I'm going to keep beating the shit out of it, and we'll see how these motors do. This rig probably only has about 20 batteries on it, and no really hard slams yet, so I don't know. I don't know if these motors will hold up long term, but we'll find out together. This was another battery that is now in the garbage can because it sagged out immediately and exploded. That's the end of that. And now we are over to the 2S rig. This is a Meteor 75 version, Mobula 7 version 3 frame. 1002, 22,000 kV motors, motor limited down to like 80 or 70%. This is this wacky Beta FPV AIO that doesn't have a USB port on it. BT 3.0, GemFan 1610 propellers, Walksnail, Mobula 6 canopy, Walksnail light camera. This is 33.77 grams dry with the Cinewhoop 2S 300 mAh battery. Also, I have not really tuned this thing yet. This is like the third battery ever. So the tune is not dialed in. Also, the camera is not dialed in. It's very grainy. I gotta change the settings on the camera. All up, this thing with the 300 mAh battery, which is what you're seeing now, is 48.83 grams. The 1S rig that I was just flying, all up, is 42.66 grams. I can definitely feel the difference in weight between these two. But the 2S rig has so much more power. And it actually has made me realize that the 1S setup, I thought that the jello was from like too many vibrations or just something going on. The jello is just from it not having enough authority over the propellers. This rig with the exact same kind of camera and everything set up, it just doesn't have any jello, and it just flies great. I'm super impressed by this. I need to get it tuned. I need to get the camera settings going. This is also pretty late. This is like 8:30 at night. So the sun is really going down. So a lot of the grain is just because Walksnail is exposing like crazy for just pushing the ISO like crazy because there wasn't much light out. But yeah, super impressive flight characteristics, just the right amount of power. I got to do the calculations on the motor limiting to figure out what I'm probably not going to keep these motors on here, although they are kind of fine. I don't know. It still has the problem where if you crash into the grass and one blade of grass is blocking a propeller, it won't spin that propeller. So, yeah, it's still a Cinewhoop that is better suited. I don't know. This is one of the things that drives me insane about Cinewhoops outside, is that when you crash into the grass, the blades of grass get stuck inside the ducts, and it's hard/impossible to take back off. But I don't know. The Cinewhoops do fly interesting. This rig will be my way of trying to convince myself that Cinewhoops are useful outside. I'm still kind of in camp. Cinewhoops are only for inside the house, but we'll see. The jungle gym bashing experiment is slowly changing my mind. As you can see, it is flyable inside, but as you can also see, it is very difficult and very heavy. Here's Teddy being a bastard. Man, it's good to see him again. We not having that dog for a week was tougher than I thought. So yeah, it is flyable inside, but man, you're gonna break everything you own, and it's not suited for it. It's got way too much power. It's way too heavy. But you can fly it inside the house. I just don't recommend it. Here's the second 300 mAh battery. Again, the tune is okay, but there's you probably noticed like a bunch of prop wash, like descending. You get a bunch of prop wash. Look at that though. That right there is what the 1S can't even come close to doing. This like just jump. That is the 2S power really just being magical. See that? Like there's some inconsistency at 0 throttle coming down. I gotta actually check. It almost feels like it doesn't have air mode turned on, but I'm pretty sure that it does. I need to plug it into Betaflight and check a couple things. I think that the PID gains just aren't high enough, because at some point in here I bumped the D gain up from I bumped the D, the P, and I gain up, and it was acting a lot better. So I think it's just tune related. But yeah, as you can see, the tune is not where it needs to be. If air mode was not on, it would be a lot worse, I think, than it is. But it's just something that I do want to check, because there is a chance that I missed it. Yeah, I mean, this is not really me. This is a little bit of a mix of like trying to fly in a way that looks kind of cool, but also just shaking the thing down, making sure I don't lose it, and just kind of feeling it out and just getting a feel for what happens when you add a bunch more power to this. Like, do you lose the ability to do this like really in close stuff, mixed with like, you know, where's the tune at? What are what's it fly like? It seems to be a little bit better about crashes like that, and then being able to take back off. The stutters are because I'm playing this off the micro SD card, I think. Yeah, it's pretty damn good. I'm really impressed in a lot of ways. Um, I'm really bummed that the frame seems to not be holding up all that well. I mean, you're getting to see all of the crashes. Like, one of these crashes, or the sum total of all these crashes, are what put that big ass bend in the frame. And I don't remember a single crash that was like to concrete that was hard enough to really do that. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think the durability might be the thing that really limits this rig, but much more testing is kind of needed. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Until I get the tune a little bit more dialed in, and until I fix the camera settings a little bit, we won't really be able to tell. It's very dark, so we're not going to get any jello at all. Flying this in the middle of the day is going to be really interesting to see what the jello situation is like. But in terms of power, great. Runtime, also great. So the 1S rig was at 2 minutes of runtime. This thing on the 300 mAh batteries was 3 minutes of runtime. 2 minutes of runtime is like just barely enough, but really not quite enough. This is actually me in the OSD adding PI and D gain. And so now the tune is significantly better. You can see it there dropping down into its own prop wash. There's no more wobbling. A little bit of wobbling there. So it's still not quite perfect. But there's still plenty of headroom, it feels like, in the tune. So I should be able to continue to push the tune even farther. This is now a 450 mAh battery, which you need to carve the shit out of to get it to work. To get the BT 3.0 cable to actually reach, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But what I can say is the 450 mAh battery is a lot heavier, and the performance really suffers. I thought that I thought for a second here, right around now, that the battery was like not charged or something, because it felt so much worse. So yeah, I can't really recommend the 450 mAh BT 3.0 battery. It just adds way too much weight. Unless you're looking to do long range ish stuff, or just super like cruisy kind of stuff. Because yeah, it barely feels like a freestyle rig with the 450 mAh battery. So fair warning. I also need to figure something out about this green LED. Oh, you can't really see it because it's below my big dumb head. But if you look in the bottom right here, there's a green LED that's shining right into the frame and lighting up the clear plastic frame. So I can either find a black frame for this, or just like liquid electric tape over the green LED, which is probably what I'll end up doing. But yeah, this is it with the 450. It had gotten really dark now, so the Walksnail system is really struggling. It's really pushing the shit out of the ISO. But yeah, it's totally flyable on the 450 mAh battery. But like, you're gonna get 3 minutes out of the 300 mAh battery, and that's enough. You like run the Cinewhoop 300 mAh 2S batteries. 3 minutes is perfect, and the performance difference is awesome. And also, this heavy ass battery might be where the frame got banged up, right? Like, the all up weight of the rig has a lot to do with the durability, and so like that might have been it. I don't know. I can't tell. But yeah, there you go. It flew like ass on the 450 mAh battery, but it did fly for a while, and some people that's super important. But in my opinion, yeah, the Cinewhoop 300 mAh BT 3.0 batteries are definitely the way to go. They fit a little bit loose in here, but that's easy to fix. So there you go. We'll talk more about... I'll fly this more tomorrow and Wednesday morning, and we'll talk more about it on Whoop Wednesday. 260 mAh 1S lava batteries. I don't think I'm going to fly all 6, but I'm at least going to fly a couple to give you guys some thoughts. And then we will shut this mother down. WTF is a kilometer says, what are your thoughts on the Mobula 8 Walksnail outside? My main thoughts about the 85mm motor-to-motor rigs is that the frame is getting so big that there becomes a shitload of frame in view, and I hate that. Power and efficiency wise, they're going to be great, but yeah, unless somebody can come up with a way of pushing the camera farther forward, they just drive me crazy in terms of there being so much duct and propeller in view. And yeah, that's kind of the main thing that I don't love about those. J Monk says, cool pics. Thank you, dude. Bergeron says, how much does that 75mm walks? We weighed it, so we're good. Right. 260 MH1S BT 2.0 from Beta FPV. Thank you to Beta FPV for sending these over, as well as something that I'll be able to talk about eventually. We'll get a weight on this in a second, but for right now, I'm just too curious to fly it. So this will either be a battery sag Fiesta or it'll be awesome because this thing is now lighter. This is the lightest thing I've ever flown right now. This thing is right on the... This tune is right on the edge. Wow, it feels light. It's hard for me to... Woo! Wow. Okay, yeah. It changes directions like a motherfucker, and it seems to not... Jesus. Seems to not sag all that much either, so don't you fucking dare. Thank you. Oh, is that Teddy I hear? Teddy, where... Can I not hit everything? Where's the spaghetti monster? There he is. With his fresh new haircut. The spaghetti monster is in the house. Oh, God. Oh, God. This feels great, and these batteries don't seem to be sagging nearly as bad as the old 260s that I ran from Cinewhoop. My hunch is that's because these motors are much lower kV. So, wow, it really just, it just stops. Like, you tell it to stop, and there's no delay. It just stops and changes direction exactly when you ask it to. Nope, that ain't gonna go through. Like that, like it just, wow, okay, yeah, all right, cool. I'll be interested to see what the runtime is here. What I'm also going to be really interested in is what these batteries are like after I've charged and flown them a dozen times. But in terms of battery sag on these 28,000 kV 0702s, it's not too bad when you're flying it in the house. Flying it outside would be a whole different story, but a super lightweight rig like this is really not meant to be flown outside. This is very much an indoor-specific Cinewhoop. What's the matter, buddy? What, you looking so sad right now? What's wrong with you? You're not chasing it or nothing? I'm gonna blow his hair around. Look at that. Look at that majestic bastard. You're not friends with it anymore? Teddy has changed since he went to since he got boarded for a week. Shit. Runtime is not looking the great. Well, no, the runtime's looking fine, actually. I thought it was just 2 minutes even. It's 2 minutes and 47 so far. Wow. Ah! Maybe they have a little bit less power than with the 300s from SAG. I mean, a lower MAH battery is always going to sag a little bit more. But I'll do some head-to-heads, this battery versus a 300, to really kind of get to the bottom of that. Oh, shit. But first impressions are actually really good. Oh, God. Oh, boy. Can't take it off from there. The runtime is completely fine. And the sag isn't that bad. I mean, I haven't flown in a week. Probably more than a week. So it's hard to really dial in about the sag. But it's not like previously it was awful with the higher KV motors. And this is not that. This is not awful. Goddamn son of a bitch. How do these batteries go dead so fast? Wow, yeah, okay. That's pretty awesome. Let's take a quick look at some weights. So, 260 mAh battery is quite a bit lighter, from what I remember. Not that much lighter, but a good amount lighter. 300 mAh batteries that we're used to are 8.5 grams. 260, wow, that's a big difference. 7.10 grams. 7.10 grams. So this rig is 16.3. With a 300 mAh battery, that makes it 24.9 grams versus 23.4. Good God, man. So that's big. That is a big difference in weight. What did I just say that was? Let me work out the percentage. 24.8 versus 23.4. I don't know. My brain's not braining tonight. But that is a significant difference in weight. Just for the sake of it, I'm going to fly this 300 mAh battery and see if I can just instantly notice a difference. Wow, dude. I didn't think it was that much lighter. That's something. That's a lot. Maybe I'm not, because I might not have another battery charged. Tedward Spaghettward. Oh, I do. We do. We're fine. Teddy Spaghetti is on his feet. Is he gonna eat the tiny whoop? Will he eat it? Will he eat it? I don't think he will. All right, 300 mAh battery. 1.4 grams heavier. Here we go. It has more power. This battery is sagging a little bit less. I'm pretty sure I feel the difference in weight, though. I went through that gate. It just happened so quick. You could barely even see it. This build is still plenty light on this battery. What's funny is these 260 mAh batteries, you're really only going to be able to run. You're only going to want to run them on the lighter weight rigs. But then, like, this rig is so light that you don't necessarily need it to be any lighter in a weird way, if that makes sense. Yeah, like, this is fine with the 300. But man, it feels great with the 260 as well, don't get me wrong. It had... I want to say that we're finally starting to see the amount of throw become like a tuning parameter. This throws better. Like when I do this, this throws better. Less sag and more weight, right? I mean, of course. But still, you could be like, yeah, I like the bigger batteries because I want a little bit of extra throw. At this point, I think. Stop that. Come on. I'm gonna fly one more of the 260s after this. I think it might have gone through that gate. Where'd the dog go? There he is. He's so docile tonight. What's the matter, buddy? Not big and tough anymore? Oh, he's big and tough now. I pissed him off. Nope. Maybe he's just sleepy. I did just wake him up. He was sleeping. Oh god. No, no, no! You fucker. It wasn't you, buddy. Not you. You're good. You're good. No, I was yelling at the quad, not you. I love you, doggy. I love you. You're good. You're fine. It wasn't you. It was the drone that was a bad boy, not you. You're a good boy. Good dog. There he is. There's my boy. There he is. Yeah, buddy. Look at the majesty of that fluff. Yeah, get down in there. Wait. He was under there. I wanted to shoot the gap under the desk, but he was there. So I bailed real quick. Woo! Shit, son. Oh, God. That was a close one. I actually ducked. I think if I hadn't ducked, I might have hit myself in the face. Oh, shit. This might not be recoverable. Oh, boy. Nope. Come on. Oh, we got it. I think I got it. I think I got it. Yeah! Get out of there. There it goes. Sometimes you gotta just full throttle it to like get it out of a sticky spot. So she said, whoa, that was hot. Hey! Eat it. Hey! God, look at the runtime on this rig. 4 minutes with a 300 mAh battery. All right, back to 260 for the last battery of the live stream. Hope you guys are enjoying. I will see you again on Whoop Wednesday at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Here we go. I think it's at 10. We changed the time. Yeah, 10. Here we go, friends! 260 mAh, brand new Beta FPV Lava BT 2.0 battery. Yeah, I can feel it. I can even feel it in the hover point. The hover point is lower because it's lighter weight. That might be the reason why I'm having a hard time with throttle control. I'm kind of bouncing up and down a little bit. I need to fix the throttle midpoint. It still has good power. I think the 300s might deliver the power a little bit quicker because they're going to sag a little bit less, but this still has plenty of power once you sit it in full throttle for a split second. So, like, that's me hitting the ceiling. Oh, let me try it again, though. Yeah, you see the distance? All right, yeah, no, it's not carrying as much. Watch the distance that it travels. I'll do it a couple more times. I'm trying to do it, like, the same way that I do it every time. It carried that time. Yeah, it carried that time. Maybe it's just... Could just be me. It's hitting the goddamn ceiling. These feel fine, man. This is very lightweight. This is unbelievably accurate. Like, it just goes... Wow, the camera did not like that. One bit. Yeah, it is incredibly accurate at this weight. Which we've talked about ad nauseum. As you get lighter, there's less momentum. Oh god. Hey! And if you want extra smoothness, do it in beta flight. Like, it's so easy. Right? This whole, like, adding weight or flying bigger, heavier rigs to get more smoothness out of the flight footage is the silliest goddamn thing ever. It just makes no sense. Like, it's so easy to get smoothness digitally and have the benefit of a rig that's lighter weight, that becomes a lot easier to fly and much more realistic and more enjoyable to fly inside. If you want to do cool shit. Like, if you just want to limp around inside, sure, build a fucking 5-inch rig for all I care. But if you want to actually fly hard and have a chance of doing any of the things that you see me do, you got to build light. And there's really no... This isn't like a discussion. Like, that's just the way it works. Like, that's just the truth. Like, you know? Like, you can't argue with physics. You can't argue with more weight sliding around more and wanting to keep carrying its same direction more, right? It's just, yeah. So, damn. That's really I'm really impressed by these 260 mAh batteries. Next time I do a Cinewhoop order, I'm going to get some of the Cinewhoops, another little pack of the Cinewhoop 260s to compare them to these. Because, yeah, way back when, I was putting them on heavy, really powerful rigs, and that's not, and they did not like that, which kind of makes sense. So yeah, damn, dude. And more than 3 minutes of runtime is plenty. You know, that was the other problem with those 260s on the big, powerful rigs, is the runtime came down a bunch. But now that we've gotten the weight down significantly on these things, the smaller MAH batteries make an awful lot of sense. All that being said, this thing was totally fine on that 300 mAh battery. But damn, on the 260s, it's just that much lighter. Wow, that's pretty cool. And over 3 minutes of runtime is amazing. Cole Power says, when you hit the drum near the top, is that technically a cymbal crash? It is indeed. Cole Power says, camera does not like aiming directly into your studio lights. Yeah, indeed. Good to go. Thanks for hanging, friends. This was a bit of a long one, but I had a lot to get through. And that we did. I'll see you guys on Whoop Wednesday, 10 o'clock. Be good. Tip your waiters. Love you. Bye. Here comes some more 2S 75mm Walksnail flying. Or not, because I'm not ready. Here's when it was really dark. It's going to look like ass. See you guys Friday. Thanks for hanging. CiottiFPV.com. Do the thing. Bing bong. Fuck your life. Later, friends.